Today I'm going to talk to you about chromosomes. Chromosomes are something that most of us learn about in grade school. You get the basics, they come in pairs, you get a set from your mother, a set from your father, and they determine sex. I never really thought that I would have to learn much more about chromosomes until about 4 years ago when I was pregnant with my youngest daughter. Then something that I never thought I would have to think much about became my focus very quickly. I was filling out one of those questionnaires at the doctor's office when you go as a new patient. Are you pregnant? Yes. Do you smoke? No. Is there any family history of birth defects? Well, yes. Do you know what it is? No. My daughter had an aunt on her father's side who had some sort of disability, but I wasn't exactly sure what it was. His family lived in Michigan, and we didn't see them very often. Fortunately, I didn't have to look like an idiot because my doctor also did not know very much about this kind of genetics, and he sent us to a genetic counselor at Sacred Heart Hospital in Pensacola. It was at this appointment that I began my immersion into the world of genetics. I learned that we went over the basics again, that you have two pairs. They come from your mother and from your father. You have 23 pairs. And the first 22 are numbered, 1 through 22, and the 23rd is the sex genes. Now, while these normally get passed down to you in the same form as where they came from, sometimes there might be a problem and information may get duplicated, it may get lost, and that's when you have chromosome problems in a child. Because Ellie's father carried the translocation on his side of the family, he was tested at this time to see if he carried a translocation. He hadn't had any problems, health problems, learning problems, so it was hard to say. At the same time, I also had an ultrasound, and the baby and I were both very healthy and fine. We went back for another appointment about a month later to get the results, and it turned out that he did actually carry an even translocation of 2 of his sets of genes. And the genes that were affected were his 8th and 11th. You can see here that on his 8th he has a full 8th, then he has this 8th, where this yellow is actually meant to be an 11th. So he's got a full 11, this part of 11, and then he's got this piece of 8 here. So the 8 and 11 are actually swapped. But it's okay because what it means is that he still does actually have all of his information, it's just not in the exact right place. At this time, we could have had an amniocentesis test done on the baby while I was pregnant to find out if she carried any of these mixed up genes. But we decided not to because the baby and I were both healthy and everything was fine. In August of 2005, Ellie was born. She was a healthy, beautiful baby, but we did have her tested right away to find out if she carried the translocation. At her her 2-week checkup, we did find out that Ellie did have a translocation and that it was an uneven translocation. What this means is that though Ellie has her 2 full pairs of 8th chromosomes, and then 1 full 11th chromosome, on this 11 she's actually missing a small piece at the bottom, and she has an extra piece of 8. So this is called a deletion of the 11th chromosome and a duplication of the 8th. And there's actually a number, it's the 8th, 23rd piece, and on the 11th it's the 24th. I'm not sure the exact term. I actually tried to look online to research and get some more information to help explain this better, but everything that I found was entirely too complicated. And the best resource I found was a letter that I actually received from the University of Florida, the Division of Genetics, the Department of Pediatrics, written to me specifically about Ellie. So what all of this means for me is that Ellie is a special child, just like any other child. It means that I know way more about chromosomes than I ever thought that I would. Ellie's chromosomes are completely different than anyone else's in the world, at least as far as what's been documented. Although she has the same duplication and deletion as her aunt, her development has already exceeded her aunt's. Ellie will be 4 in August. She has been in therapy, physical therapy, speech therapy, and occupational therapy on and off since she was 2 months old. She goes to school. Half a day she goes to a developmental delayed school with other children who are delayed, and half a day she goes to a regular preschool with other kids her age. Ellie runs, she plays, she talks, and she throws temper tantrums just like a regular 3-year-old does. This means that Ellie's development is constantly being monitored, and that there are people on my side who are helping and that are rooting for Ellie. No one but Ellie knows what Ellie will do next. And to me, this picture of Ellie's chromosomes is nothing compared to a real hug from that little girl. Thank you.